Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really significant issue in the U.S. depression.
Yeah, it affects so many people.
Right. And, you listening might be navigating this yourself, or maybe know someone who is, or maybe you just want to understand it better.
Absolutely.
So our mission here is to really pull out the key insights about depression in America from the source you shared with us.
And see what it says about sort of paths to healing.
Exactly. It covers quite a bit, so let's jump in.
Okay. Well, the first thing that really stood out from the source was just the sheer scale.
How many people are we talking about?
We're looking at over 17 million adults in America each year.
Uh-oh.
That's a lot of people grappling with this.
Wow. 17 million.
Yeah. And what's interesting, the source noted this trend where, while it's widespread, certain factors seem to play a role.
Like what kind of factors?
Well, things like socioeconomic challenges.
Mm.
They seem to correlate with higher rates, so it gives us a more, nuanced picture of who might be most affected.
Okay, right. That's a really important distinction. And we should probably stress, this isn't just about feeling sad for a day or two.
No, absolutely not. The source is really clear on that.
It mentions symptoms like persistent low mood
Right.
and that overwhelming fatigue.
Mm-hmm. And losing interest in things you normally enjoy. That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a genuine medical condition. It needs, proper attention and care.
Which brings us to something else the source really dug into. Stigma.
Ah, yes. The silence around mental health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That hesitation people have to talk about it or even seek help. It's still a huge barrier in a lot of communities.
It's like a fear of being judged, isn't it?
Yeah, and the source suggested the fear can be incredibly isolating for people.
Definitely. So the source really seemed to emphasize changing that narrative.
It did, like the importance of just having open, honest conversations.
And sharing experiences,
Mhm.
normalizing therapy, and
Yeah.
seeking support.
Making it clear that reaching out isn't, a weakness. It's actually, it's brave. It's
Yeah.
a sign of strength.
Totally agree. A really courageous step. So what about actual support? Did the source get into treatment options?
Oh yeah, quite a bit actually. Therapy came up prominently.
Like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Exactly. CBT was highlighted as like a really effective tool. The source kind of described it as helping people spot and then change those negative thought patterns.
Almost like retraining your mental habits.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. And medication. That's often part of the conversation too.
Right. Antidepressants, things like SSRIs, they can be really helpful for, regulating brain chemistry for some people.
But the source stress needing guidance,
No,
right?
absolutely. It was
Yeah.
very clear that needs careful management by a psychiatrist, someone who can tailor the treatment and, see how it's working. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Makes sense.
And interestingly, the source also really pushed the idea that it's not just about formal treatments.
You mean like lifestyle stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Lifestyle changes. Things like regular exercise. The source suggested it can actually have a noticeable impact on mood.
Huh. Along with like diet and sleep.
Good nutrition, consistent sleep patterns. They're not magic bullets, obviously,
Yeah.
but the source presented them as really important pieces of the overall puzzle.
Okay, so therapy, maybe medication, and lifestyle factors. What else?
Community. That was another big point the source made.
Like support groups.
Yeah, support groups, whether they're online or, in person, they offer that vital sense of connection.
I can see that, just knowing you're not alone.
Exactly. Hearing from others who actually get what you're going through, that can be incredibly powerful against those feelings of isolation.
Yeah, definitely. But what about people worried about, say, cost or access to these things?
Good question. And the source makes sure to address that. It mentioned resources are out there.
Like what kind of resources?
Well, nonprofits, community health centers, places that often offer services on a sliding scale, sometimes even for free.
So the options exist, it's just about finding them.
Right, knowing they're there and feeling sort of empowered to look into them.
So I guess the big takeaway from this deep dive, looking at your source, is that depression is treatable.
That's the key message, really. Hope is there.
And it starts with us being more aware, right? Both personally and just, in our communities.
And having the strength to reach out or encourage others to reach out when help is needed.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, if you or someone you know is in crisis or struggling, there's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
That number is 988, right?
Yep, 988. You can call or text anytime. It's free. It's confidential. 2147 support.
Okay, that's really important. 988. So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with.
Yeah.
How can you, listening right now, maybe help foster more open conversations about mental health in your own circles, your family, your workplace?
That's a good question to ponder. Even small things count.
Right. Small acts of empathy, just being willing to talk and listen, it can really make a difference.